today's episode of the Senior Saga, we bring to you the story of Mr. Parveen Taneja. At the ripe age of 67, he strives to serve the nation by serving the underserved children of the society, instilling dignity in them and making them self-respecting human beings. So let's dive right into it and meet this man on a mission.
I work with Vikas Vishranti. I personally consider it to be a very noble organization. One area where India really needs great improvement is in the education of underprivileged children. They are not able to go to school because their parents are not able to afford them the means, right? And they don't have that necessary environment at home or in their surroundings whereby they can acquire any good education. We provide them books, uniforms, dresses, shoes, right, and all study materials, stationery, books, pencils, bags, right. These are essential items. When I met some of those students, living in clusters of jhuggis, I found that they had a very negative attitude towards everything. They would go around begging for small things. When we started teaching them and we tried to inculcate a sense of dignity and we want them to become self-respecting individuals, this can come only through good education. And our organization has been doing a substantially good work in terms of making them better human beings. After all, how do we assess an individual? On the basis of the quality of his mind, his thought processes, his intelligence. Now, these things cannot be acquired overnight. They have to be inculcated. Discipline has to be inculcated. Higher end values are to be inculcated in them, and it takes long time. Education is the solution to all these problems. A good quality education will go a long way to make them better human beings. And if they become better human beings, they will become better citizens. And better citizens of India will make India truly great. We were refugees from West Pakistan. In 1947, being Hindus, we were pushed out of Pakistan. And when my parents came to India, they were penniless. It was a very hard life for them. My father worked throughout his life, right? And he was busy setting up his business. And as a result, he did not have any time to provide us good education. So I studied in a school, which did not have any facilities. The teachers were, probably they taught, but the environment was not right. And we had no motivation to study. So throughout my schooling, I was more or less an underprivileged child because there was no one to guide me, and I really felt greatly hurt, right? And I felt that the life was not going in the right direction, but fortunately life has got its own twists. So I somehow fortunately I managed to get admission in BA English Honours in Rajdhani College, Delhi University. Now, it was a great turning point in my life. For the first time, I came under the influence of Shakespeare, because Shakespeare, Robert Browning, Walt Whitman, E.M. Foster, Marlowe, all great minds, of English literature and world literature were prescribed in our course. And when I started studying those great authors, it brought about qualitative improvement in me. I felt that I was becoming a better human being every day, and my thinking deepened, my understanding of life increased, my sympathies for others were enlarged, and they became deepened. So as I kept on studying, my outlook towards life kept on changing, and I became a better and a better human being. This organization, I joined it about 2 years back, right? Then I was about 65 years old, right? And I felt that this is what I really was looking forward to for a long time. In fact, I am now in my late 60s. and I have been teaching throughout my life. I was director of Institute of English Language and Computer Science for 27 years. After that, I was a visiting faculty at Saga University for 6 years. For 2 years, I was a professor at ABS Engineering College. There, we were working very hard. We taught, we got payments, and more or less the life was moving on a very smooth plane. But always there was some kind of dissatisfaction. I always felt that life is meant for nobler purposes and one must contribute something worthwhile to the society and to the people who really deserve to get it. There are two things, which I would like to emphasize. One thing is that keep on learning. At the age of 64, I went to appear in NPTEL's exam. All right. So I was perhaps the oldest student appearing in that exam, and there was an engineer about 30 years old. So he was surprised and shocked to meet me. He said that at the age of 30, he thought that was his last exam, right? And he looked at me and I told him that I'm in my 60s and I feel that this is my second beginning, right? And and he said that, why do you study, right? I told him that, well, I study because I feel that I'm going to live on this planet forever. That means if you study, you should study with such earnestness and seriousness, right? That you should believe that you are going to live on this planet and whatever knowledge you are going to acquire, right, that is going to be of help to you and others forever for all the time to come. But the greatest realization that came to me was that whatever knowledge you may accumulate, what is the use of that knowledge if you don't pass it on to others? So what is really important is that whatever hard work you have done, whatever knowledge you have acquired, even after doing my post-graduation, I acquired more than 10 diplomas and certificates. So I have kept myself busy throughout my life, acquiring certificates, knowledge, and in that pursuit of wisdom. But the final realization was this, that all this knowledge will go useless if you don't pass it on to the others or to the next generation. So my sincerest desire now is that whatever knowledge I have acquired, it must be passed on to those who do not have the resources to get it. More you study, better human being you become. But your commitment towards goodness, that is required, you see. Intelligence is to be developed for the greater good of humanity. One should not misdirect one's intelligence. Right? All other things, just vanish, they disappear, they don't mean much in the long term. But the good that you are able to do to your students and you expect that in turn they will do good to the world at large, I think that is my greatest accomplishment. I am proud of it, that I am doing something worthwhile for the underprivileged sections of Indian society, and I pray to God that God should give me the strength to continue doing whatever good work I am doing. I hope God will bless me and I will continue teaching these underprivileged sections of society.